Everything in this universe operates on frequency, and whether you realize it or not, you are constantly broadcasting a signal. People don't just hear your words, they feel your energy. It's in the way you walk, the way you hold yourself, the way your eyes light up when you talk about your passions. When you master the energy you radiate, you become a magnet, not just to men, but to opportunities, abundance, and a life that feels aligned with your highest potential. Think about it. Have you ever walked into a room and felt the presence of someone before they even spoke? There's something undeniable about them, a confidence that isn't forced, an ease that isn't performative. That's because their internal state is congruent with their external reality. They are not seeking validation. They are the validation. They don't beg for attention. Their energy naturally commands it. Men are not drawn to mere physical beauty alone. Beauty fades, trends change. What remains irresistible is the feeling a woman evokes. A woman who radiates peace, confidence, and joy isn't just seen, she's felt. And what makes her energy so intoxicating? She is whole within herself. She's not operating from lack, from insecurity, from the desperate need to be loved. She already is love, and that love spills over into everything she does. The secret to radiating an energy that draws people in is to become deeply connected to your own essence. Are you nurturing your mind? Are you protecting your peace? Are you feeding your soul with things that light you up? You can't fake energy. You can put on the perfect outfit, say all the right things, but if internally you are filled with doubt, self-criticism, and fear, it will seep through every interaction. Mastering your energy means taking full responsibility for your state of being. It means shifting from a mindset of what do they think of me to how do I feel about myself. Because the moment you stop outsourcing your confidence to external validation and start embodying the kind of energy you wish to attract, everything changes. When you are in love with your own life, when you carry yourself like a woman who is already abundant in love, joy, and purpose, men don't just notice, they become captivated. Not because you are chasing them, but because they can't help but be drawn toward the frequency you are on. And the ones who align with that frequency, they won't just want to be with you, they will fight to be in your world. The moment you release the need for a relationship to complete you, you step into a power that is undeniable. Most people operate from a place of lack, constantly seeking something outside themselves to fill an internal void. They believe that once they find the right partner, then they will feel whole, then they will be happy, then they will be worthy of love. But this mindset creates an energy of desperation, and desperation is the fastest way to push away the very thing you desire. Think about it. When you need something, you cling to it, you overanalyze it, you fear losing it. That fear creates resistance, and that resistance repels. You see it in relationships all the time. A woman who is deeply afraid of being abandoned often attracts partners who confirm that fear. A woman who believes she has to work hard to be loved ends up in relationships where she is constantly proving her worth. The external world is simply reflecting back the internal state. But when you detach from need and step into fulfillment, everything shifts. You no longer approach love from a place of, I hope someone chooses me, but rather from, I am already whole and I choose who gets access to me. This is where magnetism is born. A woman who is fulfilled in her own life, who is passionate, joyful, and deeply at peace within herself is irresistible. Not because she is playing hard to get, but because she genuinely isn't seeking external validation. She knows that a relationship is a beautiful addition to her life, but not the source of her happiness. Men sense this at an instinctual level. They are drawn to women who choose them, not women who need them. When you embody fulfillment, when your life is already rich and vibrant, love stops being a desperate chase and becomes a natural extension of your reality. The right man doesn't feel pressure to complete you. He feels inspired to be part of your already fulfilling world. The paradox is that the less you need love, the more effortlessly it flows to you. Because true attraction isn't about proving your worth, it's about knowing it, embodying it, and letting that energy speak louder than words. The moment you stop looking for love to fill a void is the moment you become the kind of woman who has love chasing her. A man doesn't just fall for a woman, he falls for the world she has created. He falls for her energy, her passion, the way she moves through life with purpose and excitement. There is something intoxicating about a woman who wakes up every day excited about her own journey, who isn't waiting for someone to give her a life but is actively creating one she loves. Too many people make the mistake of thinking attraction is about strategy, saying the right things, looking a certain way, playing a role to keep someone interested. But real, lasting attraction goes beyond the surface. It's about the feeling you evoke in someone when they are around you. A woman who is deeply engaged in her own growth, who has a mission, who is constantly evolving, naturally draws in the kind of man who wants to build rather than just exist. Men want to be inspired, not in a way that makes them feel inadequate, but in a way that makes them want to step up. A woman who is lit up by her own life, who is constantly seeking new experiences, new knowledge, new levels of herself, creates an energy that is impossible to ignore. She doesn't make a man her purpose. She already has one, and that's exactly what makes her so captivating. When you are truly in love with your own life, when you are doing things that excite you, that challenge you, that bring you joy, you radiate a frequency of abundance. You are no longer looking for a relationship to fill the gaps, because there are no gaps to fill. A man doesn't feel the weight of being your sole source of happiness. He gets to witness and contribute to something that is already thriving. The truth is, when a woman stops waiting for life to happen and starts actively creating, she becomes a force. And a man who is serious about building something meaningful won't just be attracted to her, be inspired to grow alongside her. Because at the end of the day, true connection isn't just about love. It's about two people fully alive, walking their own paths, but choosing to walk them together. Attraction is not random. It is built on the natural interplay of energy. Every person carries both masculine and feminine energy, and when you learn how to balance the two within yourself, you unlock a level of magnetism that is undeniable. The mistake many people make is thinking they have to be one or the other. But the truth is, true power lies in knowing when to lean into your feminine and when to stand firm in your masculine. Feminine energy is flow, intuition, receptivity, and creation. It is the energy of surrender, of trust, of being rather than doing. It is the softness that draws others in, the grace that makes everything feel effortless, the presence that allows life to unfold instead of forcing it. When a woman is in her feminine, she doesn't chase, she magnetizes. She doesn't control, she influences. She doesn't demand, she inspires. Masculine energy, on the other hand, is structure, direction, logic, and action. It is the force that moves things forward, that protects, that builds. It is the part of you that sets boundaries, that stands firm in self-respect, that holds the vision for what you want in life and refuses to settle. This is the energy that ensures you do not abandon yourself in relationships, that you do not give your power away for the sake of being chosen. The magic happens when you harmonize these energies within yourself. If you lean too far into the masculine, you may become rigid, controlling, always trying to make things happen rather than allowing them to unfold naturally. You may struggle with receiving, always feeling like you have to do it all yourself, which can make relationships feel exhausting rather than fulfilling. If you lean too far into the feminine without balance, you may find yourself overly passive, waiting for love to come to you, tolerating things that do not align with your worth, or feeling disconnected from your own power. This can create an energy of uncertainty, making it difficult to set standards or make decisions that serve your highest good. But when you activate the balance, something incredible happens. You become a woman who is both soft and strong, a woman who trusts and allows, yet also chooses and directs, a woman who can stand in her boundaries without losing her grace, a woman who can express her needs without demanding, who can invite a man into her world without chasing, who can be deeply feminine while still embodying unshakable self-respect. Men are naturally drawn to this balance because it creates a polarity, an irresistible pull. A woman who is confident in her feminine essence allows a man to step into his masculine energy fully. She doesn't have to compete with him, prove herself, or control the dynamic. Instead, she creates a space where he wants to step up, lead, and protect. Not because she needs him to, but because the balance makes it feel natural. When you learn to shift between these energies as needed, you stop forcing love and instead you start flowing with it. You become a woman who doesn't just attract a man, you attract a man who is ready to meet you at your level. Your reality in love is a direct reflection of what you believe to be true about relationships, about men, and about yourself. Most people are not aware that they are operating from deeply embedded subconscious programming, patterns picked up from childhood, past heartbreaks, or the world around them. These beliefs silently dictate what you attract, what you tolerate, and even how you show up in relationships. If love has felt difficult, inconsistent, or out of reach, it is not because you are unworthy of it, it is because, at some level, your subconscious mind is running a script that says this is what love looks like for you. Think about the messages you absorbed about love as a child. Did you witness a healthy, secure relationship between your parents or caregivers? Or did you grow up seeing love as something painful, distant, or conditional? The mind absorbs these experiences and turns them into truths, shaping what feels familiar, and the subconscious is wired to seek familiarity, even when it is unhealthy. If deep down you believe love is hard, you will unconsciously be drawn to situations that confirm that belief. If you believe men always leave, you may find yourself in relationships where abandonment is a theme, not because you want it, but because your subconscious is programmed to expect it. If you believe, I have to earn love, you might constantly overgive, overcompensate, and tolerate less than you deserve. But here's the truth. Your beliefs are not fixed. They can be reprogrammed. The brain is neuroplastic, meaning it can be rewired with new thoughts, new patterns, and new expectations. And when you shift your internal beliefs about love, your external reality must follow. The first step is awareness. Begin to notice your thoughts about relationships. What stories are you telling yourself? Are they rooted in abundance and possibility, or in fear and limitation? Catch the patterns. Ask yourself, is this belief serving me or is it keeping me stuck? Because once you become aware of a subconscious belief, it no longer has power over you, you have the power over it. The next step is replacing those beliefs with new, expansive ones. Start affirming and embodying the truth you want to live. Love is safe. Love is abundant. I am worthy of deep commitment. I attract emotionally available men. These are not just words. They are rewiring the neural pathways in your brain. And when you start to believe them at a subconscious level, you will begin making different choices. Choosing better partners, setting stronger boundaries, and no longer tolerating anything less than what aligns with your new reality. Rewiring your subconscious is not about positive thinking alone. It's about embodiment. It's about acting as the version of you who already knows love is effortless, joyful, and fulfilling. When your internal world shifts, your external world has no choice but to reflect it. And that is when love stops being something you chase and starts being something you naturally attract. Respect is not demanded, it is commanded through the energy you carry and the standards you set. A woman who knows her worth does not need to beg for loyalty, effort, or commitment. She sets the tone for how she will be treated by the way she treats herself. Her boundaries are not walls to keep people out, but filters to ensure only those who align with her standards gain access. Too many people fear setting boundaries because they associate them with rejection or loss. But a boundary is not a test to see if someone will leave. It is a declaration of self-respect. When you clearly define what you will and will not accept, you separate those who are truly invested in you from those who are simply passing through. And the people who belong in your life will not be repelled by your boundaries, they will be attracted to them. A woman who commands respect does not engage in relationships that leave her feeling depleted or undervalued. She does not stay in spaces where she has to beg for attention, affection, or basic decency. She understands that the way someone treats her is a reflection of what she allows. If a man is inconsistent, she does not chase, she observes. If he disrespects her, she does not argue, she walks away. She does not fight for a place in someone's life because she knows her presence is a gift, not a burden. The most powerful boundaries are not just spoken, they are embodied. It is not enough to say I deserve respect while tolerating behavior that contradicts it. Boundaries must be reinforced through action. When you uphold your standards without wavering, you send a clear message. This is how I expect to be treated, and anything less is simply not an option. Men are instinctively drawn to women who operate from this level of self-respect, not because they enjoy being challenged, but because they recognize the value in a woman who refuses to settle. She is not easy to manipulate, not desperate for validation, not willing to compromise her dignity for temporary attention. She stands firmly in her power, knowing that love, rooted in genuine respect, is the only kind worth having. The moment you stop making excuses for mistreatment, stop tolerating what drains you, and start enforcing boundaries from a place of inner certainty, you will notice a shift. The wrong people will fade away, and the right ones will rise to meet you. Because at the end of the day, a man does not truly value what is given without standard. He cherishes what is protected by it. Every woman has the power to shift the course of her relationships, not by chasing, proving, or persuading, but by becoming. Becoming the kind of woman who is so deeply fulfilled, so in love with her own life, so certain of her worth, that men don't just notice, they are drawn in. And not just any man, but the kind of man who recognizes, respects, and values everything she embodies. When you master the energy you radiate, you stop seeking validation from the outside world and start becoming a source of love, joy, and abundance within yourself. You no longer move from desperation, from the fear of being alone, but from wholeness, knowing that love is not something to be earned, it is something to be aligned with. When you detach from need and embody fulfillment, you shift from hoping to be chosen to choosing who gets access to your world. You stop trying to force love and instead become a magnet for it. Your life is already beautiful, already exciting, already rich with meaning, and a man who enters that space sees you not as someone who needs saving, but as someone he would be lucky to stand beside. When you live a life that inspires, you create a gravitational pull that is undeniable. A man doesn't just fall for your looks or your words, he falls for your essence. The way you light up when you talk about your passions, the way you carry yourself with purpose. He wants to be a part of your journey, not because you require him to be, but because the energy you embody is something he cannot ignore. When you activate the balance between your feminine and masculine, you step into harmony. You know when to be soft and when to be strong. when to surrender, and when to stand firm. You create an effortless polarity that allows a man to step fully into his role, not because you need him, but because your balance makes space for him to rise. When you rewire your subconscious beliefs about love, you break free from the patterns of the past. You stop attracting men who reflect your deepest fears and start attracting men who align with your highest self. Your relationships shift from struggle to ease, from confusion to clarity, from fear to deep, unshakable confidence. And when you command respect through boundaries, you no longer beg for the love you deserve. You set the tone for how you will be treated, knowing that true love is built on mutual respect, not on sacrificing yourself for the sake of being chosen. A man does not cherish what is freely given without standard. He values what is protected by it. So let this be your shift. Let this be the moment you decide that love will no longer be something you chase. It will be something that flows to you effortlessly, because you have become the kind of woman who attracts it naturally, the kind of woman who walks with confidence, who radiates abundance, who lives in alignment with her highest self. Because when you do this, when you embody the energy of a woman who is already fulfilled, already whole, already magnetic, men won't just want to be with you. They will beg for the chance.